Dan Maher was the host of the Inland Folk radio show for over 37 years, as well as the Jam with Dan TV show, both on Northwest Public Broadcasting. Dan is a songwriter, song collector, and a great sing-along leader. Dan will MC the Saturday night benefit concert, as he has done at every Tumbleweed Festival except those in which he was a headliner and one in which he didn't attend.
I've never done this virtual thing, and I don't even have any idea what you folks are seeing. For all I know, they could do all kinds of stuff with me. They could do like a blank screen. They could do all kinds of cool stuff. I'm Dan Maher, and I just do all kinds of music, and I love doing old songs and new songs. Now Jack was a sailor who roved out on the town, and she was a damsel what skipped up and down. Says the damsel to Jack, as he passed her by, would you care for to try some of Coer-bungle rye, ruddy rye? Fall a diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. Well, says Jack to himself, what can this be but the finest old whiskey from far Germany, smuggled out in a basket and sold on the sly, and the name that it goes by is Coer-bungle rye, ruddy rye. Fall a diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. Well, Jack gave her 10 pounds, and he thought nothing strange. She says, hold on to the basket, and I'll run for your change. Jack peeked in the basket, and a child he did spy. I'll be damned now, says Jack, this is Coer-bungle rye, ruddy rye. Fall a diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. So to get the child christened was Jack's next intent. To get the child christened, to the parson he went. Says the parson to Jack, what will he go by? I'll be damned now, says Jack, call him Coer-bungle rye, ruddy rye. Fall the diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. Says the parson to Jack, well, that's a mighty strange name. Says Jack to the parson, 'twas a strange way he came, smuggled out in a basket and sold on the sly, and the name that he'll go by is Coer-bungle rye, ruddy rye. All the diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. So come all ye young sailors going out on the town, beware of the damsels what skip up and down. Take a peek in their basket as they pass you by, or else they might pawn on you, Coer-bungle rye, ruddy rye. All the diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. All the diddle lie, ruddy rye, ruddy rye. So when I was in, I've always wanted to put this on some kind of a virtual thing. When I was in San Francisco back in the 70s, and I was a stupid kid. I'm still a stupid, but not a kid. And I had there was a woman playing banjo. She was playing the old clawhammer style banjo, and she was doing old songs of the Depression, songs about folks that were having trials and tribulations. And I said, that's a great banjo. And she said, well, I got this when I was in Boulder. And that was in 76. And I was touring with Heidi Muller in 2010. And I thought, well, I'm hanging out with this songwriter. I guess I better write a song. And this is the only song I've ever written. I got a little bit of help from Eugene Fields. She was raised in the town of Manitou Springs in the Colorado Peaks and Valleys. Her grandpa taught her tunes on the old 5-string, boil the cabbage, stir the buttermilk, Sally. Her dad got a job in the city teaching school, and she cried on the day that he told her she had to leave the woods, the mountains, and the streams, but she hung her banjo on her shoulder. And the family packed and moved to Boulder. We started making music on a morning in June by the creek where we met that we bathed in. We lay in the grass looking up at the trees, and in the sunlight we were swathed in. We sang a lot of songs about people in pain on their life path steep and stony. Appalachian atlases carrying the world on their shoulders, strong and bony. And then she played the spotted pony. Oh, the years, they are many, the years are long. That's what the poet told me. Sometimes I was weak, sometimes I was strong, and a lot of things pushed and pulled me. I'm a little less foolish, a little more wise, and each day I get a little bit older. When I hear playing on the old 5-string, I think about that woman from Boulder with her banjo hanging on her shoulder. The smell of the trees, the smell of the ground, and the creek water on her shoulder. A claw hammer tune on a morning in June, and I was ever so lucky just to hold her, the girl who played the banjo from Boulder. The smell of the trees, the smell of the ground, and the creek water on her shoulder. A claw hammer tune on a morning in June, and I was ever so lucky just to hold her, the girl who played the banjo from Boulder. Well, let's try and do two more. Now the ship it sails in half an hour to cross the broad Atlantic. Me friends are standing on the quay in grief and sorrow frantic. Bluegrass Celtic. I'm just about to sail away on the big ship John O'Leary. The anchors wait and the gangway's up. I'm leaving Tipperary. So goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. For the anchors wait and the gangway's up. I'm leaving Tipperary. Now the steam is rising up. I have no more to say. I'm bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles away. In the old kit bag here I have cabbage, spuds, and bacon. Isn't that the finest fare to ease your belly aching? If the ship it starts to pitch and toss, I'll leave very quickly. I'll pack me bundle on me back and I'll walk to New York City. Oh, goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. For the anchors wait and the gangway's up. I'm leaving Tipperary. And now the steam is rising up. I have no more to say. I'm bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles away. Those Yankee girls, they'll sure love me, of course I'm speculating. I'll oil them well with liquor, boys, and they'll love the way I treat them. I'm as deep in love with Molly Burke as an ass is fond of clover. When I get there, I'll send for her, that's if she will come over. So goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. Well, the anchors wait and the gangway's up. I'm leaving Tipperary. And now the steam is rising up. I have no more to say. I'm bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles away. So goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. Well, the anchors wait and the gangway's up. I'm leaving Tipperary. And now the steam is rising up. I have no more to say. I'm bound bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles away. So goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. All the anchors weighed and the gangways up, I live in Tipperary. And now the steam is rising up, I have no more to stay. I'm bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles away. So goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. All the anchors weighed and the gangways up, I live in Tipperary. And now the steam is rising up, I have no more to say. I'm bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles or more. So goodbye Mick and goodbye Pat and goodbye Kate and Mary. Well, the anchors wave the gangways up, I'm leaving Tipperary. And now the steam is rising up, I have no more to say. I'm bound for New York City, boys, 3,000 miles away. Hey! So there's a fella named Bob Zent. And he's a very, very underrated songwriter. He lives around Virginia way, I think around Norfolk, someplace like that. And did you get some water, boy? Oh yeah. And so he wrote a great song. And I just want to finish up with this, because ultimately it's kind of why we're here. Those of us who do non-commercial kind of alternative music. It doesn't matter whether it's indie rock or folk or any of that kind of stuff. It's not like we do this so that we can get the gewgaws and the glitter and all that kind of stuff. We do it because we love music. It used to be in the old days, I used to work a lot of bars and I used to work a lot of resorts, and people would come in and they would request all this stuff, and they would, they just plug you in and they order their favorite musical ice cream of the month, and you have to sing it and you have to keep up with all the trends and all that. And I did that for a lot of years. And this song kind of reflects how tired I got of that. And this is called My Favorite Song. You asked me to sing you my favorite song. Well, I guess you don't understand. I've been up here picking all night long while you play Stump the Band. But I call him as I see him, and I see him all the time. And any song that I sing for you is a favorite song of mine. I wouldn't sing them if I didn't like them. I wouldn't like them if I didn't care. I wouldn't care if you didn't listen. But there's a lot of good songs out there. Some songs are just like the people I know. Some people like the songs that I sing. And I never sang a song that I didn't love, or no song that didn't love me. Well, I'd like to introduce you to the jukebox. Now you've all used him before. He plays exactly what you pay him to, but I don't do that no more. And you know that I don't know none of his tunes, and he sure doesn't know none of mine. Now friends, I gotta say, I didn't plan it that way, but we both seem to get along fine. I wouldn't sing them if I didn't like them. I wouldn't like them if I didn't care. I wouldn't care if you didn't listen. But there's a lot of good songs out there. Some songs are just like the people I know. Some people like the songs that I sing. And I never sang a song that I didn't love, or no song that didn't love me. But now some of these songs will take you traveling, and some of them will take you home. And some are good just to laugh a bit, and some are good when you're all alone. And you know that some will introduce you to people that you wouldn't ordinarily know. Now these songs are mine, and I sing them all the time. Man, I take them everywhere that I go. I wouldn't sing them if I didn't like them. I wouldn't like them if I didn't care. No, I wouldn't care if you didn't listen. But there's a lot of good songs out there. Some songs are just like the people I know. Some people like the songs that I sing. And I never sang a song that I didn't love, overdose song that didn't love me. So here's a toast to those who listen, and here's a word for them that don't. Now if you listen, you might hear something new, but if you never listen, you won't. So open your ears and open your mind, and I'll sing you my favorite song. 'Cause it's right out there with the folks who care that your fate with the song belongs. I wouldn't sing them if I didn't like them. I wouldn't like them if I didn't care. I wouldn't care if you didn't listen. But there's a lot of good songs out there. Some songs are just like the people I know. Some people like the songs that I sing. Hey, I never sang a song that I didn't love. No song that didn't love me. I never sang a song that I didn't love. No song that didn't love me. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.